What's my purpose? Like, why am I here? You know, if you're in those slumps and it's like you get a good night's sleep, wake up, it's a new day, man. There's just so much baseball to be played. I've always played by two things, is have fun and compete. I've enjoyed putting in countless hours of work for an ultimate goal to win a championship in the big leagues. It's been a fun mental grind.
Welcome back to the AOP podcast. My name is Art Salazar. I'm the CEO of AOP.
You know me. I'm Fred, the pitching performance coordinator of AOP.
And today we have special guest Cody Freeman with the Texas Rangers. Cody, thanks for joining us tonight.
It's an honor. Thanks for having me.
Flying in from Texas.
Yes, sir.
Landed out back.
Yeah, actually at Ontario Airport.
Nice.
Yep.
Beautiful. So just want to touch on your year. You had the best year of your career so far. You were drafted in 2019. 264, 15 jacks, including the playoffs, and you led the league in doubles.
Yeah. It was
great.
It was a fun year, man.
That's good.
Just starts in where we train at in Texas, and just the hard work we put in, and we worked in the off season for reasons like that, and it was a fun year.
Let's give them credit. Where do you train in Texas?
Yeah, I trained with so my strength coach Rock and my hitting coach Dustin. Out there at Nuclear. So
beautiful.
Shout out to you guys.
Awesome. So we want to just jump right into it. So, like I said, you were drafted out of high school in 2019. Let's go back to whenever you feel like you would want to start. What separated you from other kids that didn't get drafted that you played with? And I know you were on a really good team in high school, but what would you say, like looking back now as a guy that just finished the year in AA, separated you as a young kid, however you want to phrase that?
Yeah, no, for sure. I would say definitely my work ethic and how fun I have out on the field. But honestly, I wouldn't have known what work ethic is if it wasn't for my father. I've learned a lot from him on what hard work is. And just me as a person, I love being on the field, loving with my teammates, and just the fun I have in the game. Because, if you're not having fun in this game, why are you playing? And yeah, I'd say those two things for sure.
In previous episode, me and I, we were talking about how impactful is your personal cycle, like the people that surround you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that your dad, you just mentioned your dad, you mentioned that you learn your work ethic out of your dad. I know your brother is a big leaguer, everything. How impactful is being your brother, your dad, in everything? Not only learning the work ethic out of them. What else? How important was having them next to your side? Not only right now as a pro, like on your entire baseball career.
No, that's an amazing question, because if it weren't for my father and my brother, I wouldn't even play baseball. Like my brother has helped me out so much. Like I wouldn't be as competitive as I am as a person if it weren't for him, being the younger brother, you know how that is. You're the older brother.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how Raul was it's always trying to catch up older brother. And, he always pushed me. I always wanted to be better than him. And, one day I will. And it was one of those things where it's like, I'm just so blessed to have my brother, to look up to playing baseball. He could have played golf or tennis, and I would have done the same thing. What older brother does, younger brother likes to do. So that if it weren't for him, I probably wouldn't be here either. So
wow, I wanted to ask that bluntly. So let's say though, in an imaginary world that he didn't play baseball, but you did.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't think you'd be who you are without Tyler? Let's say, I know you're taking about dad. Shout out to Greg Freeman, but
for sure,
now you don't think you'd be who you are today
in the baseball world? Absolutely not. And like I said, that question, it's like whatever he was doing, I was probably going to do. So if you're saying he's not playing baseball, then I probably wouldn't be playing baseball.
Yeah.
My mom was the softball. Shout out my mom. She was the real athlete in the family. But then again, it's if my brother didn't play, I wouldn't have had that drive, and I just don't know what I'd be doing, and nor would he probably.
Yeah. And we talk about that too. We talked about that in the last episode, how important it is, touching on again what you're saying about the circle,
Mm-hmm.
And obviously for you as family, and that's your circle, and the importance of elite athletes, because you're an elite athlete and you were an elite athlete, having those people to tail after. Is that the best way that we would describe that? And
Yeah.
yeah, that's. I mean, I've known you your whole life, so that's crazy to hear it because you were always really good. But it's like you have younger brothers too, so you know what that's like.
Yeah. What else have you learned from your brother, from your mom, that you say that she's the real athlete in the family? What else, when it comes to like your daily routine, your habits and everything, what else have you learned from people in your family that you think is being very impactful for you to develop
Yeah,
as an athlete?
for sure. No, and like as an athlete, but like more importantly, it's as a person, and I feel like that brings out the personality of you as an athlete. And my mom, she had taught me how to fight and like how to be strong. She went through a surgery, like a brain. She had a tumor when we were in middle school, and there was a percentage where things could have gone really, really bad in her surgery. And seeing her become who she is after that really was impactful for me to be that person, never give up, and be strong. My dad's taught me work ethic, my mom's taught me those things, and those things just combine perfectly on you would outside world, like that kind of stuff really affects like what you're doing in your job, your daily routine, all that kind of stuff, because you got to have a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And my family is like my purpose and my reason I want to get there.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, and I think going through major like life things like that, like you did with your mom, and the way you come out of it, and then the way that person that you look up to comes out of it,
Mm-hmm.
it molds you so much more, and I could relate. I understand that, it's just a very intense process being able to,
100%.
Yeah.
And like I said, like there's times, as a minor league baseball player, it's like, dang, what am I doing? You're on game 65 of the season, you're tired, worn out. You're like, man, is it worth it? That kind of thing. It's such a mental game.
Mm-hmm.
And then reasons like that make you be like, get over yourself. Like, let's do it. Like you need a purpose. And
For sure. And so I want to take a step back again. You're talking about like game 65. Let's go back to, I would probably guess freshman year
Mhm.
of high school. But what was the process leading up to the draft? Like walk us through early and then get into more detail as it started getting closer. Like what was all of that like?
Yeah, for sure. Like you mentioned, my travel team, CBA, and we've always had tournaments, big tournaments, whether they're in Arizona, Florida, stuff like that. That like we were playing in front of scouts early ages. And another reason I wouldn't be able to do it without my brother and made things easier for me is my sophomore year, he was a senior, so there was always scouts at the games and stuff like that. So like I got to see my brother go through it, and I got to play in front of them sophomore year, and that we had some scouts go for in my junior year,
Mm-hmm.
and then like senior year. So it's like my brother like started the trend with like in high school, like having the MLB scouts come out and watch, and I would say it started early because of my older brother. Like,
so when did you start getting though like legitimate so when did you hire an advisor? Are you with the same advisor? When did you start having in-house meetings? Like walk us through all that process.
for sure, yeah. I got an advisor because I believe you can't call it an agent until a certain time. I think until draft year.
Yeah.
So I had an advisor my freshman year, Garrett Parcell. He's been amazing, and I'm still with him. And when the in-home meeting started my senior year with some scouts, they'll come to your house and like pretty much interview you and stuff like that and get to know you a little bit more as a person outside of the field. And that started early senior year before fall ball and around fall ball. And I was originally committed to Baylor. I committed out my sophomore year and loved the school, loved the campus. Shout out Coach Rodriguez. He was great to me. And Baylor was going to be my home if I weren't to get drafted.
Okay, you get those meetings, the meetings are moving along, then what happens next? Like, are they asking you, hey, because you're committed to Baylor, hey, do you want to be a pro, or like go into more detail on that?
Yeah, for sure. That's the reason you have an agent. I feel like he answers those questions, so it puts pressure and doesn't make you overwhelmed for a game you have tomorrow, and I'm worried about an agent or a scout calling me, stuff like that. I think that's the reason you have an advisor, an agent, is so they answer those questions for me.
Mm-hmm.
And because during the season and during senior year, it's one of your most important years.
Yeah.
It's last year with all your local homies playing and like obviously draft year and stuff like that. But That's the point of an agent, I feel like, is he answers those questions and I just go out and play.
So you
That's
didn't
all
have to
you
deal
can.
with any of that.
No,
Nice.
you just go out there, play baseball, have fun, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. And that's like back to the circle thing that you talk about, the importance of having the right people around you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's definitely something. So leading up to the draft, okay, so now let's say it's 30 days away.
Mhm.
What happened 30 days? Same thing? You didn't know anything? Your agent was just keeping it all, or was he telling you stuff? Or
At that point, you have a clue, an idea, but it's still up in the air because you don't know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
And numbers start getting thrown in there, and like, is he gonna go to school? Is he gonna go this way? And it's like again, you just leave it up to God, and whatever happens, happens. It's like
Yeah.
there's so many phone calls in those 30 days prior to a draft, and even my agent, like, it's like, just hang tight. Like, I'll know more as it comes closer, and like, literally, it's like when draft day comes, it's like it's game day.
Yeah.
It's like he's like it's like good luck. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there for you. I'll answer calls, and
Yeah.
we have a number set, and
Yeah. So
go time.
fourth round, which was day 2,
Day
right?
2, yes sir.
So did you know that morning you were gonna get drafted that day, or?
That's when I knew. Is so after the first day, the first 2 rounds, I was like, all right, like, maybe see what happens. Like, I'm instantly, like, my mindset, like, I'm gonna go to Baylor, play 3 years, and see where I go from there at that point. And got a call from the agent and said the Rangers are gonna take you in the 3rd for so and so or the 4th for so and so. And I was like, perfect, let's make it happen. Like, he's like, okay, we're gonna make it happen. And morning of, like, I had some friends and family come over and stuff like that, and boom, it happened. Like, 3rd round went by, or we knew pretty much it was gonna be the 4th, but 3rd round went by, and then, like, there's like 25 picks in between or something like that, and it just started, like, getting like some butterflies, like your stomach starts, your head, you're like, all right, this is gonna be crazy. Sitting down in front, and they called my name, and everyone just started going crazy, and it was just one of those memories that it's like, that video right there is just like, just a testimony of all the hard work and, like, all the work my parents have put in, like, just that moment, and, like, just keeps climbing the ladder, and, like, next moment will be when I get the call, like, that's going to be a big one. And yeah, it's moments like that you just look back and, like, pat yourself on the back, because sometimes in life, like, you need to do that.
For sure.
Okay, you got drafted. It was all about happiness and, enjoying everything. What happened after that? What was the reaction? What was, like, the surprise that you get after that process, getting drafted? Once you sign your contract, you get invited to the team facility and all that. What changed? What was the shock adjustment that you have to make mentally, physically, everything? What actually surprised you after getting drafted? What changed? What was the adjustment in your family and your mentality and everything?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. So obviously got to Arizona, signed the contract, and started practice up the next day. And, like, I'm surrounded by guys that are bigger than me, stronger than me, older than me, have experience and stuff like that. So, like, the only thing I can do is just play my game, like, be quiet, learn from others, and just go about my business the way I did. And what the Rangers liked about me is what I'm going to bring to Arizona, or the Rangers organization.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was just like, dang, this is it, man. This is, like, my brother had talked to me about rookie ball. And I mean, you've been around, you know how it is. It's like you're learning a new language. You're around people from other countries. And, like, I was the only American position player on my team my first year. So
Wow.
I was,
Which is normal, though.
yeah, yo hablo poquito español ahora.
Oh, okay.
And
Dímelo.
yeah, shout out to my boys. But, like, you're just into a new environment, and you're learning a new language, meeting new friends out of country, learning other people's stories, and it was like, okay, dang, like, this is, like, more than I expected. This is crazy,
It was a weird feeling for you, like, being surrounded by a bunch of Latin American, a bunch of Venezuelans, Dominican, and everything speaking Spanish. You're the only American, but look like a Latino at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
How does that feel? How was, like, what crossed through your mind in those moments? I was like,
it was crazy, like, I obviously didn't expect to be the, like, only American position player on my team, which is, I mean, it's great. Like, it's for me to learn a new language, stuff like that. And, it's funny. Some of them thought, like, I spoke Spanish and stuff, because I look a little bit. And we just joke around now. It's like I'm still close with a couple of those guys. And And yeah, you just look back at those times. It's like my Spanish has gotten so much better. I understand more now, and but yeah, it's just you're into a whole new environment, man. It's crazy.
What is your best Latino friends right now on the team?
Yeah, I got a couple. I would definitely say my best friends, my Latin best friends are KB Rodriguez, Franier Chavez, and Alejandro Ozuna. I've been close with them for a while. So
What's your favorite thing about the Latino culture in baseball? What do you like the most?
yeah, I just love like how much they love the game, you know, like and how like with me and a couple of those guys in the room and stuff like that, like they make fun of my Spanish, I make fun of their English, and that's how we learn. Like we're close, and like you see like with the Rangers, like in like our team this year, like you know sometimes you just like. You know, the Latin guys talk to Latin guys, Americans talk to Americans. Like, no, like in our locker room, we're talking to all of each other. We're family. Like, that's what makes a team good. Like, we made the playoffs, all that kind of stuff. But like the Rangers, like we're very much like a family organization. And you could tell when you walk in our clubhouse, it's like he's talking to him like normal. They're having fun. Like, yeah, we're like a family. It's environment. It's amazing. So,
Great.
yeah.
That's great. So something when you were saying that was like making me think like your personality on top of, okay, so you're the only American
Yeah.
that doesn't speak Spanish, but then you carry yourself like what you would imagine a typical
Oh, yeah.
Latino shortstop infielder. Like, did that help you think with the being able to get along with them
Oh, yeah.
right away? That like, I'm like you, I just don't speak Spanish.
100%. And like that's like what got me closer with them because like they know like even if I was wrong in like a phrase and what I was saying, like they would laugh and correct me. And like
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, like we're trying to win a baseball game in 9 innings, so we got to communicate. Like I took Spanish class 2 days a week during the season right away. And yeah, that was like I didn't expect to do that, and it was like great. Like it helped me out and stuff like that. And that just shows you about like our organization. Like we're trying to learn with each other, and yeah, no, it was like you hit it off. You said my personality, and like I think that's what gets me. I'm close with a lot of them, man. And
Of course.
and yeah, those are my guys.
And Fred talks about this a lot. Like, you know, the big leagues is a show, and I think you put on a good show. We gotta maybe clip something on here of you doing something Cody Freeman-esque. I don't know. You can let us know what that is, but I'm sure you can tell the kind of personality this guy's got. But no, that's what people want. You know, like if I had a son that was 12 right now, I mean, my son's 1, but if he was 12, I want him to watch players like you, people that have energy, because I think it like almost automatically emulates your love for the game. You know, not to say that guys that aren't like that doesn't mean they don't love baseball, but it's like, you know, it's just like that extra spice.
For sure.
You know, and I think it makes baseball fun. I know
Yeah,
how
I
you
appreciate
feel
it.
about
Like,
it.
like I said at the beginning, like the first question, it's like if you're not having fun, like what are you doing? You know, like the game, you can get your cleats taken away any day, and you just got to play every game like it's your last. And
I have a question. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Tyler Freeman, I know you're listening. How do we get some of the Cody Flair for you in the show? Like, has that ever been a conversation?
I mean, every person, like, you know, even for his wedding, a couple of the Guardians guys that he has, and everybody that knows me and my brother and my family, they're like, you two are just completely different. Like,
Oh man,
dress different, personalities different. Playing were, I'd say, kind of the same on the field, but like, just two different people. And they're like, how are you guys brothers? And
yeah, but what is
funny.
like, Tyler? Hey, buddy, let's go put a chain on or something,
I
dude.
try to tell him he needs to step it up a little bit. You know, playing on ESPN, maybe Sunday night game. Like, call brother, man. I told you I'd be here for you. You know, he won't do it. He's just not. That's not who he is. Like, I wear eye black every single game. Like, I have these chains on. Like, it's just like one of those things. Like, you look good, you feel good. Like, let's go. Let's play good.
This is gonna be an interesting question. Okay.
Let's hear it.
All right. Would you say that you don't have any alter ego when you step on the field compared to the person that you are outside of the field? Are you like, you can tell that you're pretty much translate the same personality that you have outside to the field, or there's like differentials between one or the other? And if there's one or two, can you explain us what are those?
Yeah, no, I honestly, like, if you would ask every one of my teammates, I feel like they'd be like, I'm the same person from when I walk into the clubhouse until when I leave the clubhouse, and like in the locker room, pregame, during the game, like
So you bring the spicy
bring it all.
to the
I
to
bring
the atmosphere all the time, right?
I bring it,
Of
try my best. Some people might, even myself, like some people might be having bad days or bad moment. Like we're a family. We're there every single day. You need someone like to have some fun, bring some spark to the clubhouse every single day. I try my best, and like it's a long season, so you got to have some fun. Like we're talking about mid-season, right before the season. Like I'm the same from day one all the way up to day, whatever it is, till the end, till the last day of playoffs. Like I won't change. I don't think I ever will. And if I do, someone hit me because
so
slap me on the face.
who do you think is your support though? Because we all and especially your audience as an athlete, as people that goes through good moments, but a lot of the times very tough moment that
Mm-hmm.
no matter what you do, anything goes well, and you're like struggling, trying to figure it out what the fuck is going on and all that. When do you feel when you are in those moments, uh, who picks you up? Who or what actually help you to pick it up your personality, pick it up your energy and anything, just like say fuck it for a moment. I'm gonna keep figuring out how to do it better, but at the same time I'm gonna keep enjoying what I'm doing.
For sure. No, and that's part of like our guys. Like we have each other's backs, and like if there's ever a time, like don't get me wrong, I'm a competitive baseball player. Like I'm gonna be mad, I'm gonna be frustrated after games, during games, but it's like you sit down, like my way of just like letting things out, sit down. Like if I get frustrated, like sit down on the bench, 10 seconds, take a deep breath, let it go. Now it's go time because like these guys, we all rely on each other. Can't show frustration, can't like throwing bats, all that kind of stuff. Like that's just not. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. And in the clubhouse, if like there's times like I'll sit down, like same thing, like frustrated after a loss or tough game, like sit there for a little bit, but go hit the showers, move on tomorrow. Like you got to be the same person every day. And yeah, these teammates pick each other up, like pat me on the back. Hey, we need you, like that kind of thing. And it's impactful, like having guys like that in our clubhouse.
But more, I want to add on that too. So, okay, let's say you're in an 0 for 16 slump. Do you call Tyler? Do you call your dad? Do you call your mom? I don't know if you have a partner. Is it your hitting coach? Is it your strength coach? Do you go? And let's aside from the staff, the field staff, what does that process look like for Cody Freeman?
Yeah, for sure. Me and my brother talk almost every single day, every other day during the season. Like we help each other out. Like whether he needs to hear something mental or whether I need to hear something physical from him. Like that's my guy. It's my best friend. Like we help each other. We try to push each other. Like my dream was for us to play against or with each other in big leagues. That's his dream. Like we're on the way there. And yeah, so we're just trying to help each other. And that I'd say him and my dad like are the ones I talk to about like those slumps, those struggles. And back to what I was saying about the purposes, like that stuff like that. Just like relax. Like, all right, what's my purpose? Like, why am I here? If you're in those slumps and that's like, you get a good night's sleep, wake up, it's a new day, man. There's just so much baseball to be played. Like I've learned that a couple seasons. I've started off horrible, like first month or whatever, and ended up finishing really good. I'm like, dang, like that first month, like it means a lot. But like I'm saying, it's like, dang, there's 3-4 more months like that I can't just give up on because the first month I'm playing horrible.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
That like also can separate a lot of guys. Like you don't want to give up on the first month because you're doing horrible. Like you can finish the thing strong and never know where you end up at the end of the year.
So if you had to describe what the minor leagues has been like in one sentence, go ahead.
It's been a fun mental grind, I would say. And the friendships that you make in the minor leagues, the brotherships you make, like that stuff's more important, like on the outside picture, building those friendships, building the relationships, having those fun moments, like traveling the country, playing with your boys, like I said, like we're like a family. We're together for 8 months of the year. Like we don't see our families. Like, they'll fly out, maybe stuff like that. But like, even like you were saying about the Latin players, like sometimes some of them aren't able to see their families, and like we are their family. And I would say it's a fun mental grind. That would be my one sentence.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's like you hear the same iteration, but with different words, I feel like, when
Hmm.
you speak to minor leaguers, and especially when you're getting to your level, AAA, where you're like starting to sniff the bigs, that it's like the good with the bad becomes great almost, right?
Yeah.
Is that is a
Yeah.
good way
Yeah.
to,
For sure.
from the outside?
For sure. And we're all in this game to learn. And like,
Yeah.
there's a reason, like you look back when I was 18, like I've learned so much being in this organization, learned so much from all the coaches and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it's awesome. Like looking back, like where you brought up, like being 18 in high school, it's like, even like now, it's like cool to look at and think about,
Of course. So, okay, talk about being 18 in high school. Okay. So you get drafted. Let's go back. You sign for a nice amount of money. Did you buy anything cool with your signing bonus?
Yeah, this is a funny story. Everyone kind of knows about it. My
How
dad,
big was the chain?
the
Just go
the-
straight up. How big was the chain?
it was, I would say, a little bit bigger than this one, but it was on sale. It was on sale.
Tell us
But
the
my
story.
first, yeah, funny story. My first big purchase, I guess you could say, was, I mean, I had a Jeep in high school, but I got a Charger, like kind of traded it out. So I always wanted a Charger. But like my first purchase, because my parents still had my bank account at the time, and
So they had the bank account when the money hit too?
they got switched. No,
Oh,
so they had access to mine
okay.
because I was 18, and like whatever, like age, I don't know how it works. But I had bought some Gucci shoes when I was 18 during rookie ball, and they were like $600 or $700. I don't remember, but something along those lines. And I get a call from my dad, and I don't think, it's probably been a couple times I've seen my dad very frustrated at me, and he was cussing me out and he was yelling at me. He's like, "This is how you want to spend your money?" All this kind of stuff. Like, come on, dude, don't be like,
Yeah.
it's like just being a father,
Yeah. No, but let it out. This is R-rated.
Yeah.
Cuss on here.
Yeah.
What the fuck did Greg say? Did Greg like F-bomb the...
he was yelling at me because, yes, he was yelling at me. He's like, don't, like, pretty much don't be spending your money on some dumb stuff, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And because I'm 18, and like, his first look is like, oh, he's gonna start buying stuff like this every single day. But it was like my first and only one of the year, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna go return these. And he's like, go return them. I never ended up returning them. It's just a funny story now. We all laugh at it now, and like, his joke, I'm gonna go buy some Gucci shoes and stuff like that. And I still have them to this day, and just because, like, they're still around, and it's just one of those funny stories that, like, that was my first big purchase, was those Gucci shoes. And
Yeah.
my dad was not a fan of it. So
Yeah. So, okay, let's add on that question now. So there's kids obviously out there that want to be Cody Freeman. Everybody wants to get drafted. Everybody wants to get paid. Everybody wants that nice payday. What was it like when it hit? Because I'm sure you remember the feeling.
Mhm.
So when you opened your bank account and you saw, obviously you got taxed, but this very large amount of money, what was that feeling like for you?
just one of those moments. You look back, it's like I worked, like, you worked your tail off for not that specific reason. There's other reasons, but it's like, it's like, I literally like sat, I was like, looked, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I was just in shock.
Mm-hmm.
I never had seen money like that and stuff like that. And it's just like, just blessed, it's like, it's one of the life, it's an opportunity in life that, like, I was blessed with. And I just, it was one of those things where it was like, I was just in shock, and then, but on the safe side, financial guy, that kind of thing, like, goes into smarter things,
Mm-hmm.
not Gucci shoes. And funny side story too, my brother now owns a pair of Gucci shoes as of 3 months ago. So, and they're almost the same exact ones as the one I have. So he's on the way up a little
Copied
bit.
you, huh?
He did, you did. He's on the way up though. He's on the way up.
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so now, like you're saying that, yes, money is a byproduct of being good at your job. Your job is baseball. You might not look at it like a job, but that is your occupation. And so, same thing, speaking for the people out there that I want to say, and then you can add on this, that when you chase money, though, usually it doesn't end up well, right?
For sure. And it's one of those things where, like, me and my brother, like, we're not those type of people. Like, we're playing this game to win, to win championships, for our purposes, stuff like that. Money comes and goes. But friendships, relationships, winning championships, I feel like that stuff, like, as like cringy and like as I mean, at the end of the day, it's real. Like
That's
you play this game because it's fun.
true.
Like not for those reasons. And
No, that's fine. I was about to ask you, what is your favorite part from being a pro? What is like, what is the nicest thing to be a pro baseball player and to be a top prospect or anything like everything that comes with the fame, blah blah blah. What is your favorite part about this job?
honestly, like, you have, because like we were all younger kids looking up to pro baseball players, and you have younger kids looking up to us as baseball players, and that's always like a really cool thing. Being able to give back, sign balls, give them bats, give them, that kind of stuff. That stuff like excites me. Like I love giving back to the community, and that's definitely probably one of the biggest things is like being able to say you're a pro, like being able to give back, because like that was all of us one day when we were younger, and it's fun. Like even sometimes like during COVID, I was out like there wasn't much to do, giving lessons and like helping giving the community back, giving back to the community, and like just doing infield lessons and some hitting lessons and just having fun, giving back to the kids. It's always like one of those things you're like, that was us one day.
Okay, now you're talking to the 13 years old Cody that is trying to play baseball and trying to be really good at high school. Is trying to be like your brother and all that. If you want to talk to the 13 years old Cody again, right in front of that camera, what is going to be that speech that you're going to give yourself to be the person that you are right now back then? What would you tell to that 13 years old kid?
That's deep. That's very deep. Um, I've always played by two things: is have fun and compete. And I would tell myself those two things that I've learned. When you're younger and like you have a bad game, whatever, you cry, you throw fits, all that kind of stuff, whatever. But like now I've learned like, there's two things in this game: is have fun and competing. And that's all you can do. And I would tell myself like, Cody, like stop being so frustrated, leave it up to God. And, I've gotten so much closer in my faith. I would tell him like, put your trust in God, like believe in him, believe in the plan, that kind of stuff. And, I would definitely go that route and say those things. And obviously the two other things is have fun and be competitive. But it would mainly be like trust in God. He's got everything out in front.
Would you tell that 13 years old Cody that it was worth it?
100%. 100%. And I've enjoyed every bit of this game. I've enjoyed every relationship I've made. I've enjoyed putting in countless hours of work for an ultimate goal to win a championship in the big leagues, to be a big leaguer. And I would definitely say it's worth it. And, I'm just blessed to be where I'm at and being able to play this game still. And I would definitely say it's worth it. And I'm glad, it's about trusting God. And I know everything was going to work out and is going to work out. So,
Yeah, I'm like listening here and not that I want to tear emotional, but like it's just because like I've watched you grow up and it's just beautiful because you're asking him, is it worth it? And I can vividly remember big league dreams tournaments when you were this tall and everybody thought who's this kid? And you'd hit fucking doubles over their head and it'd become a home run. And like, it's just beautiful, and it's like, it's a testament to your work and everything that you guys did and so much that probably a lot of the world doesn't even know about. I mean, we could probably count on hands and feet the people that really know what like your dad was doing and you and Tyler hitting so much in the backyard and like all of that. So I want to finish with adding on to his question. If you were talking to a kid that's at that 13-year-old age, 14-year-old age, 12 years old, can you give them not a blueprint, but like a schedule blueprint of what you would say you should be working on doing? Is it hitting every day? Is it doing infield 3 times a week? Is it, I paid attention to lay that out for them. And I think
sure.
that's a great finishing
Yeah.
for the people that are out there listening.
For sure. My advice, to kids in elementary, middle school, like early high school is, you have your travel ball practices, you have your high school practices, you have your team practices, stuff like that. But like my challenges to you guys is, what are you doing on your own? Like at that age, even now, you see a lot of kids playing PlayStation. You see a lot of kids, doing a non-baseball or any sport like activities, and they're putting more work and effort into that. And me and my brother, we've never been those big video games guys. Like we put in countless hours of work, and all that kind of stuff at that age will eventually pay off. And I promise you, those big kids hitting home runs when they're that age, like, and little guys that, are like, why can't I hit home run? Like, eventually it's going to even out. Like, let's say a good player is up here and a bad player is not even bad. Like, a kid that's not as talented as this kid,
Underdeveloped.
at the end of the day, like, at that age, your hard work is, they're not working hard, you're working hard, you're going to pass them. Like, that's just how it works in any industry, honestly. And my two things, just work hard. School's very important. You know how important school is. Like, if you're not playing in high school because of your grades, you're not gonna be seen.
Yeah.
Not playing in college because of your grades, you're not gonna be seen. Like, take care of business in school. Work hard outside of practices, like outside of team stuff. And like, what are you guys doing on your own? Like, you guys got to put in your hours by yourself. Like,
Hitting, fielding, like what? Give us details.
there's a wall in your backyard somewhere. There's a wall in your front yard. Do wall ball. There's defense for the day. 30 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Push-ups, strength-wise. You could do that in your garage. You could do that in your bedroom. Hitting. You can go to a cage down the street. You can go to a cage at your local batting cage. Like, it's not that hard. Like, parents even know that at the end of the day, it's going to pay off the more they put into their kid and the more the kid puts in themselves. So,
yeah. Cody, that's just it. It's as simple as that people want to overcomplicate it. It's just unlimited amount of work compiled over how many years that leads you. And yes, of course, you have God-given ability. You are, special from a large group of the players, whatever, but you worked your ass off. And so everybody out there, just do the work. Put the video games down. Put the PlayStation down, the Xbox. If you want to be like Cody one day, and just do the work. But I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of the podcast, and I thank you, Cody.
yeah. Thanks for having me.
It was great having this conversation with you, and I appreciate everybody that's still listening. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.